Okay, it's time for our third and final adventure of the evening. Getting started a little bit late tonight, but I've entitled it "A Pirate's Life for Me." And before we even go into that, I do want to say a quick shout out to I hope I'm saying the name right, Lumiere Gaiden, for gifting 5 subscriptions to members of the community. That's extremely generous, Lumiere. I hope that I said your name right, and we greatly appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Let's also just hop into the adventure. Another thing to do before we hop into tonight's adventure is to say, introduce our characters here. So first up, we have Aewni joining us tonight. How are you doing, Aewni? What's wrong, Aewni?
Nothing. Writing things. That's it.
What are you writing? You sound very frazzled, flustered.
I don't know how to explain it right now.
I understand. You take your time, Aewni, and kind of write yourself, write yourself both, I guess, literally write whatever you're doing, and also get yourself in the state of mind. You got an adventure to go on soon. You got to get yourself prepped.
Yes, I know, and I must document what pirates are like. That is why I have this giant book. And she pulls out like a massive 500-page like leather-bound book. I must write everything down.
What are you recording these pirates for? I mean, I guess tales of pirates are some of the most exciting tales in the world.
They're pirates. I mean, I think, I don't know. The only knowledge I have of pirates are like wooden boats with white sails, or sometimes black sails with a skull on them, and cannons, and shoot, and musketeering? That's not the word.
I think you've actually captured the spirit pretty well, though, even though that's not the word. Swashbuckling may be what you're hoping for. But
yeah, something like that.
Aewni, I hope that pirates live up to your expectations, and it's good to have you adventuring with us once more.
I'm happy to be here. I'll be writing this essay for Hiyori.
Next up, we have Waiyubi, the recently titled the Hanged God, is with us here. What's going on, Waiyubi?
I have merely finished Bartholomew's Olympics, as he called it, and I'm returning, and now I hear there's yet more issues in need of tending.
Yes, as Bartholomew mentioned, the challenges only get more and more difficult from here. But you've really proven yourself thus far, Waiyubi. Have you spent much time interacting with pirates, Waiyubi?
I have spent my time among some.
Do you have much experience with the sea, Waiyubi? You remind me. I asked this because you remind me of a character called Davy Jones a little bit, and I was just curious if you feel any deep kinship with the ocean in any meaningful way.
You could say that. I wasn't aware you were also familiar with Davy.
So you actually personally know Davy?
I know a great many old things in these waters.
Well, Waiyubi, I'm sure that experience will be invaluable in your adventures today, and it's just always good to have you back, Waiyubi.
It is good to be here, Pete.
Next up, we have Lorquin returning once more, the Unkillable. How's it going, Lorquin?
Hello, it's good to be back.
It's good to have you always. How have you been, Lorquin? How's your sword training been going as of late? If I remember correctly, you were teaching some new students last I spoke to you.
Yes, one of my students is up to standard and is now helping me teach the rest.
That's good. Hopefully that will clear up some time in your schedule as well. You'll be able to get out and pursue more of your own goals as well, because I know it's very important to you that your master's sword style be preserved.
Yes, I've had a lot of spare time recently. I've actually been talking to an old friend.
Anyone that I would know? Who's your old friend?
He's just a well, we can't really talk about him.
Yeah, I don't want to bring anyone into the public eye that would not want to, well, be discussed there. But Lorquin, I'm glad that you've been taking some time to reconnect and having some time for yourself. And as always, I'm very glad to have you in the adventuring fields again.
Yes, it's good to be here.
And last, but of course not least, we have Freddie Galanodel, the Charming, with us once more. How's it going, Freddie?
Hello, Pete. How are you?
I am doing very well. How are you, Freddie?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Yes, I have this charming new bow tie here. What do you think of this?
It's beautiful. I mean, I don't like to brag. Not a lot of people, I'm not often thought of as a fashion trendsetter. But did you happen to take any inspiration from me on that, or was that your own? Just sort of, did you arrive at that conclusion independently?
Oh, I think we both know the answer to that, Pete, my old friend.
I don't know if I do, but the way that you said it was so convincing. I just don't feel like I can refute that in any way.
No, absolutely not. You can't. May I say that yellow looks absolutely dashing on you.
Thank you. I try my absolute best, Freddie. And what color do you have? I mean, I obviously can see it, but just say it out loud, just to hear your resonant voice speak the word.
Yes, right now it is yellow, with little dots on it.
Oh,
tied just so.
The look absolutely suits you, as basically I think everything you've ever worn has. And Freddie, it's just brings a smile on my face to see you back with us every time you are.
Thank you very much, dear.
Of course. And without further ado, let us begin our adventure. And it does officially begin in the town of Buckler's Bay. For any of you who have been to Buckler's Bay, maybe in the past, it's one of the kind of a divey oceanside port town that is on the Crimson Coast. But since the oceans of the Crimson Coast were in some places kind of pulled back there's a whole story there. It's basically just a landlocked port town that's just sitting on top of all of the smooth glass stones of the Crimson Coast, with docks that have been reestablished that you can see like 2 miles into inland or deeper out to sea, where you can see some new docks have been set up. You're there to meet with a contact. Bartholomew told you who your contact was for this job, and he said he would have more details, but in just kind of broad strokes, apparently from what Bartholomew told you, a nobleman from the town of Buckler's Bay, one of the wealthiest individuals in that town, has been kidnapped, and some folks have hired you to rescue them and bring them back. As you appear in the town of Buckler's Bay by Summoning Circle, you can look around and kind of take in some of your surroundings. You see, from what Bartholomew had originally told you, the individual would be waiting, wearing kind of they'd be wearing an overcoat and a tri-corner cap, but it would be a bright pink feather sticking out of that tri-corner cap, is the person that you're looking for. And sure enough, you can see just kind of like tucked, leaning against a wall over near an alleyway. You can see this figure. They're kind of looking around in a manner that might be considered suspicious, just kind of like keeping their eye open for anyone who might come to talk to them, and definitely acting conspicuous, this individual. As the 4 of you arrive on the scene, you stand now in the town of Buckler's Bay. What would all of you like to do as our adventure begins?
I gotta write this down. Tricorn cap, pink feathers.
You begin scribbling and jotting down. I imagine some of the atmospheric details around here as well, as you're just, breathing in some of the, taking in some of the ambiance of this town. You're kind of
Also,
noticing. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. On the meta level, Why am I marked as Yuri Glasia?
That was an oversight, Jeremy. If you're listening, it is Aewni playing tonight, and not Yuri. Sorry about that.
He is currently deafened.
If you want to just toss a quick PM to Jeremy and let him know.
I will do that. Yes. Worry not. It is still Aewni. She's not transformed.
Yes. Sorry about that. But anyway, so just looking around, this is kind of a lot of what you would envision for maybe what a pirate kind of shanty town might look like. You can see, like, over at the tavern, you can see someone with a peg leg get, like, thrown out the door and kind of, like, shout a few drunken words back in before, like, staggering off in the distance. You can see a couple of people that are just, like, brawling over out in the street. It's very rowdy here. Old sailors kind of outside just walking about. You can see a fisherman walks past with a pole on their shoulder, getting ready to march across the couple-mile gap towards the ocean. You are amidst this rowdy port town.
Lots of stuff to write down. Lots of how to put it. I don't know how to put it, but you know what? Aewni feels like she's a little out of place given what she's wearing and holding. Great ability to infiltrate a pirate crew looking like a priest or a cleric. You know, that'll be easy.
You absolutely are standing out like a sore thumb here in the middle of town as you're taking it in. And this individual, as you are all kind of like appearing on the teleportation circle and kind of looking around, you can see that the pig feather person finally kind of takes notice of all of you. And as people that are definitely a lot, even beyond like the equipment and like the quality of equipment that you're wearing, just like from a hygiene level, kind of obviously standing apart, they're kind of like looking you up and down, and they kind of like make a gesture with their head like, get over here, come here.
Lorquin will take a big nostalgic breath and walk towards the individual.
They kind of look over at the they kind of look over at the four of you. Does everyone walk over, or is anyone hanging? Is everyone just coming along?
Freddie saunters over.
Yeah. Freddie, this is actually your. I imagine that Freddie, I don't think by any means looks the part of Buckler's Bay, but this is pretty near your home too, isn't it?
It is Freddie's home.
Yes. Specifically Buckler's Bay, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I always think of your home as kind of like Keep Galanodel, but then I remember that was kind of more taken. You come closer to this person and they say, "All right, gather around, gather around. So you have to be the adventurers that we hired, right?"
Yes.
What gave us away?
The one and only.
Wait, there's only one of us?
Count again.
What do you? 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't say adventurer. I think I said adventurer. I don't know. Come on. We shouldn't speak here in public. As he kind of sees you pretty, it's good to have a Galanodel with us. They begin kind of tucking down the alley where they can discuss with you guys a little bit out of earshot of anyone. And as they do so, they say, "All right, so I talked to this Bartholomew fellow, and he said you'd be able to handle getting my lord back. He has quite a lot of money, but the pirates asked for a ransom that was, frankly, a little bit too high for us to be able to afford. And, I figured I'd take the money rather than just empty out his bank account and have it not be enough. I'd just pay you to deal with the pirates and get him back."
So the ransom was more than 1 million per adventurer.
1 million for adventure. That's not how much I paid Bartholomew. He looks at you kind of confused.
Must like you.
Was it a matter of favors? You have said your lord seems to be some noble here.
Yes, Lord Barton is his name. He disappeared out of town a few days ago, and then one of the bosuns on that ship, one of those pirates came by recently. They rolled up pretty brazenly. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of good law enforcement around here. And they told us that they had to pay a sum of 50,000 gold pieces, or Lord Barton wouldn't be returned to us.
50,000?
50,000 gold pieces is what they asked for.
Oh.
Huh.
I mean, I have that sum of money, but this sounds more fun.
Are you willing to pay for...
I could.
We will not need to
Why-
pay, my
yeah,
friend.
why,
Don't
why
worry.
don't we just do it? It sounds more fun this way.
Well, now that you're... Okay, he seems kind of like frustrated now that you're saying, like, well, I could pay it, but we'll just... If there's a way to keep my lord's life from being risked any further, then if you can take that option, I would appreciate
Well,
it.
which crew is it?
It is the, he's one of the newer pirates on these seas and one of the meanest. His name's Captain Killer. And he looks at all of you, expecting you all to, like, resonate with the name.
Do I know this guy?
No, he sounds like an upstart. There's no pirate on the seas that have made a name for themselves that has that kind of dumb.
They're all like Ladybeard or...
Yeah, they're much better names than Captain Killer. Most of them are now pirates.
Really? Captain Killer? That's the best they could come up with?
That's the name. I don't know what to tell you. That's his name. I mean, he kills a lot of people. Doesn't take prisoners, is what it said about Captain Killer. Well, save for, it would seem this one.
Still, though,
Looks
Killer?
Like Captain Killer has met his match.
The last time I heard of Killer, he was only a first mate.
Is Lord Barton going around pretending to be this Captain Killer?
They look at you kind of eyes. No, but why did you say that?
Just wondering.
Not as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
I hope that's not true. And they kind of get a little bit confused for a second. And, all right. So I know that they're docked at shore right now. I don't know how long they're going to be there, but they don't know that I work for Lord Barton, and they are hiring on more crewmates right now for something of a I guess they have some big hit planned. I don't know what it is, but I've been negotiating with Captain Killer myself under the guise of just a vagabond who knows some hired muscle. And you are the new crew members that I'm bringing for him to add to his crew. So for starters, we're gonna need to maybe pirate you up a bit. If he sees you all coming in looking clean, for one thing, you got to get rid of that Bartholomew's Adventuring Guild, maybe logos, if you have any of those, the patches anywhere. Also, maybe just some dirt on that armor.
Aewni looks herself up and down and just silently mutters, "Hired muscle?"
And looking at, just tell him that you got skill. I mean, you need sailors, and I mean, you're a hired muscle, aren't you? And looks over at Freddie, kind of. You know how to sail, don't you?
Are you calling into question my ability to handle a ship?
I'm asking you if you have water vehicle proficiency. I mean, you have to. You're a Galanodel.
Yes, that is part of our background. See, a homebrew background Galanodel.
Yes. So if you could all just, like I said, I brought some disguises with me if any of you would like one. And they kind of pull out of a burlap sack that they have kind of like tucked away in this alley, a big old pile of what just looked like very dirty, unwashed, like pirate clothes and hats, You can see there's some eye patches in there. There's some hook hands. There's some peg legs and stuff. If you're interested in any of that, yeah, there's a whole retinue of pirate-themed clothing. If any of you would like to deck yourself out in pirate fashions.
Freddie just
Upon
changes
hearing
into
all
his.
this, Lorquin will go into his bag and pull out his own pirate gear. Although it may be a bit small, but it should look the part.
From
It was a gift from a very old
Freddie just changes into his family outfit.
and as the you put on your classic attire. As the man here, the retainer here, looks at you, Lorquin, and sees the clothing that you're starting to put on, kind of raises an eyebrow. Do I know you from somewhere?
You won't know me. I'm not got a very good name around here. However, these clothes did belong to a very close friend of mine. He is still alive, as far as I'm aware.
He kind of thinks for a while.
So,
Yes. Anyway, do you take anything, Aewni?
but what if I just play off that this is secret pirating gear from somewhere else?
If you think that'll work, I trust your judgment. However you see fit. I mean, maybe just like I said, maybe just a little bit of dirt.
I can help with that if you
Lorquin will
like.
give Aewni a long black cloak just to cover some of the clothes a little bit.
Okay,
Decent Lorquin.
this helps. She very, very much works hard on keeping herself as clean as possible so that she can continue to shine silver.
And not really seeing that that's important. And Waiyubi, do you bother? Do you put on any?
Waiyubi looks at the pile of pirate costumes and then just looks at himself being a large, fucked up fish guy wearing a tattered black robe and a lampshade over his head with a tear in it and one very yellow, bloodshot eye sticking through, and kind of just. Do you really think that would be necessary?
No, I think that you're probably fine. He says. He does not chuckle. He actually looks intimidated. Only I chuckle in this scenario. Yeah, he looks pretty intimidated as he looks past at just this one eye sticking out. And all right, well, if all of you are changed and ready, I'll bring you down to meet with Captain Killer. He should be setting out soon.
Just one more thing, as Lorquin goes deep into his bag and pulls out 5 cigars. They look really old, but very smokable, and hands one to each person, including our informant.
He takes the cigar, kind of turns it over, kind of breathes in and kind of smells along the edge of it, nods appreciatively, and I don't suppose you have a light.
He takes a match from his pocket and sparks it against his hat and gives him a light and lights his own.
He's always
Oh my, you have a flamey hat.
It's for the nerves. You seem a bit shaky.
I just want to see my Lord Barton returned. So he takes kind of a puff of it, maybe relaxes a bit, but you can still tell he's on edge, and begins, all right, well, let's get going, and begins setting off down along the rocks of the Crimson Coast towards where the ships are docked in the line of the ocean. As he's walking there, he goes, they're docked a little bit, a couple of miles or west of or north, he thinks about it for a moment, north of where the other ships are. They don't like to stand too close to where most eyes. Not a lot of folks take kindly to the pirates who have a little bit less of a moral code like these ones don't. Yeah, he guides you, And eventually you kind of can see where he's walking, and you can see the ship that is just kind of essentially pulled up onto the shore, anchored just very close to the shore. There's like a rowboat, a couple of rowboats that are over there that have brought people closer, and you can see they're in the process of taking on a couple of pieces of cargo. There's some, various sailors and pirates going about doing their, going about busying themselves and getting prepped for the ship. But you guys begin your approach. Is there anything that you guys are doing as you're walking up? Anything you want to discuss or do or say?
Aewni will have very pristinely cut salmon fillets that she's just eating.
You're wearing the black cloak, right? Is that what it was?
Yes.
All right, yeah. So with the cloak, we just see, like, I imagine from an outsider perspective, you just see like your brilliant silver hand kind of stick out for a moment with a fish, and it just like disappears into the cloak and then comes back.
Yes, my face is not seen at all. The only thing you can see, the only thing you can see of this are the hands.
You put down some fish, anyone else have anything they want to do before they get up, or you guys just?
Freddie uses prestidigitation to snap his fingers and light the cigar.
Stylish, as always.
Lorquin will be walking with the cigar in one hand and a hand on his katana. Holstered, of course. Just working the part.
The full swagger of one of compromised morality. I get what you're going for. And Waiyubi, just a steady march.
Like, right as the camera pans off of Hiyori eating the fine salmon, you see Waiyubi just eating the cigar and, like, very noticeably spoiled anchovies as they're following.
Oh man, Aewni's gonna start taking a D4 of psychic damage every time someone confuses her.
That both in and out of character, and you watch as Waiyubi eats these terrible anchovies. You said spoiled anchovies.
Spoiled anchovies.
Oh, God.
How can you eat those?
Because if I do not, I will starve. Is that not why one eats?
No, I get that, but they're like spoiled?
All things spoil. All eventually becomes wrong.
So that's not bad for you somehow?
No more than your fish is bad for you.
Okay, I'll accept that.
And you hear the guide that's been kind of leading you here call out, Captain Killer, and a figure kind of who is in the middle. You can see there's like a little table and some like carts and stuff where they're loading the ship right now with supplies. Now that you're getting closer and right up near it, you can see a lot of the things they're loading with. There's like food and water and barrels of that kind of resources. You can also see them taking like a lot of cannonballs up onto the ship. You can see them taking up what appears to be a chest that they have loaded, stacked to the brim with just like cutlasses and short swords and things of that nature. Just a whole weapons chest. And the captain kind of turns his head up. They're wearing a tri-corner cap as well. This one with no feather. They turn around. They have kind of a long trench coat. They very much look the part as they turn and look towards the group of you. As you see them, they have an eye patch, and they look across, pistol at the side. So these are the worthy hands that you were talking about. These are the tough ones. And they kind of step up and begin kind of just looking over the four of you. So you want to be pirates under the great Captain Killer, huh? So, Tell me, what qualifies you to be so? Tell me about the cut of your jib. As he looks over at the four of you. Raising an eyebrow questioningly.
Aewni motions Waiyubi first.
The pirate kind of looks at you, just staring you right in the eye, which a lot of people, Waiyubi, don't kind of like look away from you when they see you, a little bit intimidated just by your aura. But Captain Killer's looking you dead in the eye.
I also look him back dead in the eye and kind of just, with my right hand and its spines, kind of just do a gesture at myself.
Kind of looks you up and down. All right, yeah. What about the rest of you, though? Looks to you, Lorquin and Freddie, first.
Lorquin takes a big puff of his cigar and blows it right in the captain's face, as a means to show that he's not afraid.
You do this, and the captain kind of walks up to you. It gets kind of right up in your face. You see, kind of takes a hand. Are you still smoking the cigar, or do you have it in your hand right now?
I have it in my hand.
Okay. He kind of reaches down to where your cigar is and just puts the cigar out with his thumb. And he goes, I like that spirit, but I'm the captain of this ship. You best keep that in mind, understood?
Oh, I understand perfectly, sir. As Lorquin proceeds to light his cigar again.
But you've definitely proven your grit to the captain in this moment. Looks to you, Freddie, and the fact that he doesn't instantly recognize you as a Galanodel, you'll just immediately have the thought comes your mind, just like, this is new money.
Mm-hmm.
This is new money on the Crimson Coast that they don't know a Galanodel. But he looks at you kind of expectantly.
Yeah, so I say, I'm an experienced merchant of the sea, you could say.
Are you, what's your attire look? Are you in just like a typical Galanodel look, or are you wearing like a Freddie Galanodel pirate look?
So it's a typical Galanodel look, like the house does have like a house dress, but it's definitely been Freddied up, if you know what I mean. Like, is it more flair, or is it more form, is what I'm asking. Probably more flair.
Okay, yeah. He's looking up. Awful dandied up for a, you gonna be okay with getting those clothes dirty?
Trust me, I have a way of managing with getting my clothes dirty. Shall I do a little performance and regale you with my tales of my travels?
And they kind of don't have time for a tale. You got 2 sentences.
Very well. I take out my Kenneth mandolin and I begin to weave a spell. And basically, I'm just making myself levitate using my Kenneth mandolin while I am performing my song, basically telling about the time that I slew goblins by the hundreds, or that
I guess. The Horde Lord Snort, of course.
Yes.
Yes. And just seeing the display of your... You're a magic one, huh? Always useful to have a magician on the ship, one form or another.
I'm also very proficient with ships.
Yes, well, in that case, kind of points. Why don't you get up there and start helping them hoist the mains? We're going to be taking off soon. And points back towards the ship.
Yeah.
You go?
Yep.
And he kind of looks back to you. I didn't hear an I.
Aye, Captain.
Right. Looks last towards you, Aewni, and as as he does so. Looks at you. You're just still kind of underneath the hood. He looks to you expectantly and says,
Oh, her eyes are glowing like startling icy blue through that hood now. Like that's the only thing he could be able to see under the hood is just those things peering into his soul.
I want you to make me an intimidation check to see if that's enough to just get him to accept you without wanting to have you pull back your hood. 18. He looks at you, kind of. What about you? Doesn't ask for you to remove the hood. What about you? What do you do? You don't look necessarily strong.
She'll then pull out a set of 5 actual dragon claws, right? That she once looted from a dragon she ended up killing from her fable boss.
And as you just kind of like, I imagine this is just silent. You just like pick them up and hold them and show.
Oh yeah, just dead quiet, like they're bloodied and everything.
Very stylish. The captain kind of looks at you and just quiet type, eh? Well, that's fine, I suppose. And looks over at the retainer and says, These 4 will do. I'll well, here's your gold. And they hands over to the retainer what look like 20 or like 30 gold pieces that he hands him. The retainer kind of nods and he goes, all right, well then I'll be on my way. I'll talk to you all again. And just turns around and heads off. Yeah, you guys have successfully infiltrated Captain Killer's ship, and Captain Killer kind of goes about starting to like order the 4 of you around immediately, expecting all of you to start pitching in and to do some work, carrying stuff onto the boat, or the ship, setting up the rigging, getting the sails in place, and before long you're about to be on your way. What do you do? It's been kind of a blur of just non-stop orders as you got on the ship, and you haven't really had an opportunity to really like take things in and to look around and to start like actually going for the process of looking for this Lord Barton. Apparently, from kind of some of the information that you've been gathering, there's something that you guys are doing like not too far from coast. And it's happening soon, and everyone's like in a big rush. So as things are starting to kind of like calm down and you're about to get underway, it's just basically it's coming down to the point where they just need to raise anchor and you'll be casting off. You have a little bit of a moment before you set off if there's stuff that you guys want to do or discuss.
While loading and doing all the stuff, did anyone recognize Freddie, or does Freddie recognize anyone, or all these just like young new boys?
That's a great question. Go ahead and make me a history check.
Sure.
12. For the most part, most of these are pretty new boys from Crimson Coast. What you do see, over kind of putting together some pretty complicated, tying some pretty intricate knots, you see a woman who might be 80 years old, her face just wrinkled and cracked from years at sea. You can just see the salt and ocean water that's just seeped into her skin over the years. Looks to be blind in one eye. She kind of like looks up towards you, and you can see there's recognition as they see the Galanodel uniform, and you going about doing kind of more mundane chores on this ship. And as they look at you, they kind of like raise one eyebrow as if to ask the question like, why? Why are you here?
I'll give them the most intimidating smile I can manage.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Oh yeah.
15. They don't say anything, and they don't try and make eye contact with you again. There's kind of a pause as you give them that glare, that smile, they look at you a little bit longer and go back to putting together their ropes.
Okay, so she's very wise.
Yeah.
Nice.
Could be. As you guys are getting near to setting off, Captain Killer kind of boards the ship. He goes, "All right, crew, today's the day that we take home the fortune of our lives. The merchants that will be hitting this afternoon are some of the wealthiest around Buckler's Bay, and soon that wealth will belong to Captain Killer and, by extension, you, his crew." And there's a rouse of yo-hos and cheers from around the place. He goes, "So, we'll be weighing anchor in just a moment. Everyone," he just kind of like waves a hand after he says everyone, and people who are kind of like milling about getting ready start doing the final actions and preparations for setting sail. What are all of you kind of doing as this is going on? Anything else that you guys want to do before you set off, or you just heading, just getting ready to depart?
If Lorquin has not been given a task directly, he's just going to lean against the side of the railing and smoke whatever's left of his cigar.
All right, you relight and kind of smoke the rest of that cigar. Waiyubi, you just doing some work, or you just hanging out? What are you doing?
I'm gonna take a small cask of pickled fish down into the hold, and while I'm there, see if I can spot the brig.
Go ahead and make me a investigation check, just as you're immediately looking around. 6. You hop down into the hold. It's not in particularly difficult as you're kind of climbing your way down for the ship. It's on the larger side. You get down into the hold, and you can see that there is something that looks. It's not like a traditional brig where it was be like a depressed cell like into the floor that you can either see from like the deck or anything like that. There is something that looks like a cell on the inside of the ship, and there are some signs of people having been in it. You can see blood. You can see cuffs that are just on the floor of it, but there's no one currently in the brig, it looks like. And that's in this first cursory investigation where you're just kind of looking around for a moment. But that's what you see. Aewni, anything particular you want to do before you set out to sea? Aewni, you with us?
Yeah, I was, and I was muted on the wrong end. She's gonna be pretty much doing her wicked filleting skills with large amounts of fish.
Yes. You begin kind of cutting some fish. Some of the pirates are kind of looking over at you. I imagine, what tool do you use to fillet it, Aewni?
I use a long filleting knife, which is actually just a dagger, but that's not important.
Yeah, but you have a specific knife that you use just to fillet fish.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and some of the other pirates are kind of watching, just kind of fascinated, really, as they see how like perfectly you're just basically like cutting and cleaning and gutting the inside of these fish in just long, easy easy clean swipes. Some folks are impressed, but no one's really interested in asking the new person to like give them some of their fish. It's kind of a frankly, just the whole hood and silver eyes aesthetic is definitely a bit intimidating. Yeah.
No one's gonna steal her fish, at least.
That's definitely true. Also, you're eating them raw, so that's another aspect of it as well. So no one's also looking to eat a whole, I think, fillet of raw fish. And with that, the boat sits out to water.
Pete.
Yes.
Can I cast invisibility on myself and sneak into the captain's quarters?
Yeah, absolutely.
I do so.
this is, I imagine this is happening, so this is right as the ship's setting sail, people are kind of starting to get distracted. Freddie, you cast invisibility on yourself, and begin heading out that way. You go down below the deck and into the ship proper. There's a stairway leading down to the hold, closer to where Waiyubi went, and the captain quarters are straight across. You go to the door is locked.
Okay. Oh, that's loud. Okay, I'm not gonna knock.
Yeah, knock is decidedly makes an immense amount of noise.
Yeah, I'll give an attempt at Thieves' Tools without proficiency.
Yeah, well, just go ahead and, if you're not proficient in Thieves' Tools, are you proficient in Sleight of Hand?
Yes.
In that case, I will, because you're proficient in Sleight of Hand, I will let you make your Thieves' Tools check even though you don't have proficiency in them, because I think you can, like, kind of jiggle it a little bit. So what's the final? So basically D20 plus Dex is what it would be without.
D20 plus Dex, so -3 from that, 17.
17. You fiddled around for a while, and you don't really, Freddie, you don't usually pick locks. Doors just open for you. But
yeah,
a little time jiggling around and feeling the inside of the locks, and you're able to click it open and kind of sneak your way in. There's like just kind of a pirate. There's like a large sort of oafish pirate that's kind of standing over near that area, who kind of looks as the door kind of opens, and you just hear kind of like a huh as they see the door kind of shut, and they look around a little bit confused, but you slip by basically undetected, and you're in the captain's quarters. Yeah, the rest of you are on deck, or Waiyubi, you're in the hold, but Lorquin and Aewni, the two of you are on deck, and you've set out, and yeah, what are you guys doing?
Aewni, through somehow, has set up a small stove, and she is now searing salmon. That way other people can have it, because people need to eat on a pirate ship.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
Absolutely.
So she's setting up with food for it.
Go ahead and maybe, do you have proficiency in cooking utensils?
I do not, but it's basically simple searing. It's not anything super amazing.
Aewni is so proficient at this, like you've been doing this for so long, I'm going to just give you, I'm going to count it as if you're proficient in it. So go ahead and just, specifically for cooking fish, you can even mark it on your character sheet if you wanted, Aewni, you have proficiency in cooking fish. So go ahead and make me a wisdom or dexterity check, your choice, to make these with proficiency.
16.
Yeah, you're cooking fish, and you're actually, people are kind of like coming over. One person kind of goes, excuse me.
Aewni regards them, though her eyes are less piercing this time.
That smells pretty good. You see you got kind of a lot of it there. Is that for everybody, or what was sort of the, you're not the cook?
She will chop him a fillet or two and set them on a little plate for him if he wants them. As well as adding a little bit of lemon spice.
You put together this plate of fish. You can see there's someone who's kind of watching this in the distance who seems to be wearing like a pirate chef kind of garb. They have like on the apron, and you can see their clothes are kind of stained with like blood from butchering things and stuff like that. And they're looking on kind of maybe like slightly annoyed, but this person eats the fish and gobbles it up. This is incredible. It's even got, hey everyone, the new recruit's making dinner for everybody. And they kind of gesture over. You can see Captain Killer's just kind of looking down at this, a little bit confused maybe, but not necessarily like worried about it right now. But sees people start coming over and flocking to the fish that you're cooking, and it's not like people seem afraid enough of Captain Killer to not ignore their jobs for it, but they're you're kind of a center of attention at the moment. Yeah, people start eating your fish. What is Lorquin up to while this is going on?
Lorquin's going to walk over to the chef, like the main chef,
Yeah.
and ask for a bottle of rum.
The chef kind of looks over at you. Goes, sorry, no can do. Captain's orders until we're finished with the job. No one's drinks. He wants everyone cold sober for this one. It'll be well, he said it won't be too much of a fight, but not too much of a fight to him is different than not too much of a fight for everyone else, you know. He kind of spits on the ground.
But you see, my friend, I perform better when I've had a bit of a drink. Something to wet my lips, you know?
Looks at you for a time. Kind of pulls you aside, and he goes, hold on a second, would you mind helping me with what I'm working with here? And he comes over, and he shows he's got, like, something that he just had out on the deck. He was kind of working on a little bit of a pot of stew. They don't have like a kitchen on the boat. He's kind of doing some of it out in the open air here that he's getting ready for later on. And as he kind of leans in with you, you see he just pulls a flask out of his flask on the inside of his coat, and he goes, I've been dipping a little bit too. Just don't let anyone notice it. As he kind of hands it over to you for a second.
Lorquin will take a quick swig from the flask and proceed to try and help the chef.
So you're just going to go about looking around and making... You're basically just going to try and actually like fulfill the role and be a good crewman is kind of what it comes down to?
That's what it looks like, yes. And in reality, he's just trying to get as close to the more able crew members so that he can gather information more easily.
Okay. Yeah, so Lorquin, you're going about gathering information. Waiyubi, there's a few crewmen that are down in the hold with you that have since asked you to like help, like, very tentatively, like they weren't sure if it was okay to ask you this. But one of them kind of comes up to you. If you don't mind, we were moving around some of these boxes and we could use a strong pair of hands. Do you think you could help, new recruit? What's your name?
I am called Waiyubi.
Can you help us with this?
Waiyubi will just maintain eye contact for that split second where it almost becomes awkward before acquiescing and going to help them move.
Yeah, and you can see in that split second, they were starting to be like, oh, I shouldn't have asked this person that. I'm going to go about it. But then you stand up and they kind of like, relief floods them as they appreciate your help. You begin, you help them out for some time. Is there anything else that Waiyubi's doing, or are you, what is Waiyubi doing other than this?
Down here in the hole, keeping an eye out, just kind of get a sense of things. He has a background of the sea and ships, looking at the food, the water supply. Is this, more long distance, close distance? Any oddities that one wouldn't normally find on a ship headed out of Buckler's Bay? Okay. So far, in looking around, like down here in the hold and just, taking in the space, you're not seeing anything. It is very much the typical, aside from maybe more armaments than the average ship, it is very much the typical ship that's kind of down here on, that is, you'd expect to sail out of Buckler's Bay. You're getting the impression that most of the people down here are kind of swabbies that are working and still doing this more heavy manual labor of just moving boxes and like cleaning up the holds for like the rush takeoff that you took. They're just kind of about chatting, discussing the crew and the mission and stuff that they're doing, which from what you gather just from their conversation is they're going after a pretty wealthy merchant vessel, and they're not expecting a ton of resistance, but it shouldn't be too bad. And also, Captain Killer got this information, and they're basically going to be passing by not that far out of port. So
you're expecting to get there like within a few hours, even. Like this isn't a long voyage. You're just taking a quick jaunt from the coast and taking on this Persian vessel. Yeah, they're very chatty down here. You're in the captain's quarters right now, Freddie.
Yeah.
You're looking around. You can see this personal effects clothing, very fine, very nice looking compass that's down here. Some pieces of jewelry. He's wearing a few like rings, but you can see some slightly more ostentatious jewelry that probably doesn't wear and just has it as loot that are here in the quarters. Papers, some books. Here and there, a much nicer bed than you imagine anyone else has.
Okay.
Anything in particular you're looking for?
Can I like examine this jewelry, etc., to see if it's like personal effects of a specific person or a specific merchant?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a investigation check. Actually, I'm not going to give you this. I'll give you this for free because I think if you're taking time to like investigate and examine jewelry, you'll eventually notice this. You find a couple of pieces, and in particularly the most striking one is a ring, and on the back of it, it says Lord engraved onto like the inside of it. It says, "To my love, Lord Richter Barton."
Mm-hmm.
You find a ring that has that inscribed on it in there.
Okay. And is it like a wedding band, does it look like?
It doesn't, it's not like a plain golden ring. It has like a piece of jewelry on it. So it doesn't look like a plain wedding band. Maybe, it could be like an engagement thing, but it's not just like a plain wedding band.
Okay. Are there any missives, letters, stuff like that I see around? Like Lord Barton has a signet ring, right?
This could be like a signet ring. You're not seeing like a signet ring. Presumably they would, but you're not seeing anything like that necessarily here. Looking at like missives and letters on the table, I mean, you can see some discussion of like, there's sea charts and trade routes. You can see maps that he's drawn up of like, it looks like the things that he has on his desk right now are.
Does it look like Captain Killer?
Around here.
Does it look like Captain Killer has a history? Like, does he have like a childhood or whatever?
I don't understand the question.
Like, is Captain Killer Captain Killer, or is he?
You're trying to say, is he literally just Lord Barton? Is your question? Okay. Yep. In investigating Captain Killer's personal effects and things, there's enough. Make an investigation check for that. Actually,
oh right.
That's worthy of an investigation check. 14. There's enough personal effects and items and stuff around here that you think that maybe Captain Killer is not Lord Barton. Like they have a past.
Okay.
That's a great. That's one of my favorite questions I've ever been asked as a DM. Was, does it look like Captain Killer has a history? Or a childhood? Like.
Yeah, is Captain Killer just? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Another thing is, there's like gang waters basically in the Crimson Coast, right? Like certain crew cannot.
People have territories that are carved out.
Yeah. The place that we're going, is it like big no-no zone?
Yeah, it is the port not far. It's like basically it is the definition of big no-no zone. It is the port right outside of Buckler's Bay, which is just like neutral. Everyone kind of respects each other in this territory. It is like neutral ground that he's basically.
So like, he should not be here.
It's okay for him to be here. He should not be attacking merchant ships here.
Right. Okay. And there's no way for me to contact like my family to come say, "Hey, buddy."
Not like not in a manner that they would be able to immediately respond to it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll just do like a quick cursory examination, take a few damning pieces of evidence about his activities.
Yeah.
And save that for after the adventure.
For the epilogue, yeah.
Yep.
And all right. You leave the captain's quarters.
Yeah, unless like there's something super important in here that like stands out.
No, nothing like. I forgot to mention the beating heart of the ancient kit. No, there's nothing else in there.
Or like Lord Barton himself is just sitting in the chair going, who's this invisible person here?
Nope, nothing like that. Nothing obvious.
Okay.
Meanwhile, back out on the ship, Aewni, you got a whole flock of people that are coming over to eat fish. You can see there's a whole bunch of the crew that are kind of coming up to you and just, thanking you for making food. There's just a lot of you're just hearing a lot of passive aggressive comments about their own chef, who apparently you're getting the impression isn't very good. Eventually, one person comes up to you eventually and says, "You know something? This is the absolute best thing that I've had since I've been on. This is delightful. What a cook you are. What are you doing on a ship like this?"
Oh fuck! It's Lord Barton.
Aewni does the shrug emoji.
Well, this is quite good, thank you. And they kind of take the fish that you've handed them and go, "All right, time to dig into this." And they eat for some time, and they go about their business. This figure is definitely as Freddie, you kind of, as you're coming out of the captain's quarters, you're still invisible, but you hear this person kind of say that, and have this reaction to the fish that's being prepared here.
Yeah. So, have we found Lord Barton, quote unquote?
I mean, you see a person there. They're dressed up, and I mean, they look piratey. They got an eye patch.
Can I make a check of some sort to see if this is Lord Barton?
I mean, no.
No? Okay.
Go ahead and make me a perception check. I mean, it's not like you can be like, you look at them and they have like Lord Barton tattooed on them. Go ahead and 8. I mean, their skin's maybe softer than some of the other folks. They don't look like necessarily as seaworthy as a lot of the folks around here.
Aewni will point her filleting knife at the other chef and just kind of motion them up.
At the other chef?
Yes.
The other chef kind of sees you point the filleting knife. They kind of spit on the ground, and then they start kind of walking over towards you. Yeah?
She offers him some fish fillets, uncooked, and then motions over to the little stove that she's cooking on, like, kind of in a, "Hey, you want to learn to do some of this? These people seem to like it. It might help your reputation out."
He kind of reaches out and grabs one of like the prepared ones that you'd already kind of made. Takes a hesitant bite, and as he kind of sinks his teeth into it, looks up at you, just kind of nods begrudgingly, and just takes off his apron and just kind of throws it in your direction and just goes, "You can just be the chef now. How about that?"
She shrugs.
Kind of sulkily walks away. Doesn't seem that open to learning, but can tell that he's been bested.
She'll put his apron on her or over her left shoulder and continue cooking because she doesn't have the time to put on an apron with all these pirates.
Yep, a lot of hungry pirates to feed. Lorquin, Waiyubi, what are you guys up to? Lorquin, you heard that very You heard that very refined gentleman for the rest of this pirate crew kind of speaking over on the side of the ship, which Freddie, I guess invisible still, is walking up over towards. But Lorquin, you heard that as well. Waiyubi, have you made your way back onto the deck, or are you still down below deck, kind of looking around?
The deck would be his next destination.
All right. You guys are all kind of convened around here. What do you all want to do?
Lorquin is going to walk up to the more refined gentleman and ask how long they've been at sea. Not on this voyage, just in general.
Oh, I've been on the sea near my whole life. I'm something of a sailor, a salty dog, if you will. Yes, indeed. And he looks off to the sea, just kind of... If you had to put a word on it, you would say he was trying to look wistful.
I'm sorry to bother you, sir, but I've known many captains in my time, and, well, I've seen a lot of sailors, none of which look like you. No offense.
None taken. I take great pride in my individuality, but yes, the sea is a fickle one, and all manner of individuals have found life here, myself included. And looks out once more to sea once more again wistfully. What about you? Tell me your sailor's tale.
I shall, but first, Lorquin goes deep into his bag and pulls out a rough-looking cigar and offers it to the gentleman.
Oh, no thank you. No thank you. I don't partake.
Oh, but sir, you have to. It's kind of a custom of mine, of getting to know a new friend.
A custom of the sea, I suppose. As a sailor, I would have to. Bottoms up, he says as he takes the cigar and, kind of puts it into his mouth and doesn't really... He's kind of, wondering if he should... He seems like he's wondering if he should know how to, light it.
Lorquin again takes a match, sparks it off his hat, and lights his cigar for him.
Yes. Just a great big puff. And he breathes it in and immediately... That's the good stuff. I've tried to give it up, but sometimes it can get stuck in there, in the lungs. Of course. You would know? He smiles at you, hoping to make a connection. You see, other pirates are, looking over at him and just, rolling their eyes. Waiyubi, what are you doing?
Waiyubi is just trying to look as natural as possible, doing sailor stuff, slowly trying to get near one of the other party members to tell them stuff. I'll
say that you can just have done that by this point. Waiyubi just looks natural. There's no question about, people are looking at you, Waiyubi, and thinking, man, how come this guy is not the captain? This guy looks, he's a fish man. An eldritch fish man. This person should be in charge. Anyway, it's very easy. You're kind of in range of, I think, Lorquin, and I guess invisible Freddie as well. Freddie, what are you doing while invisible?
Freddie walks out from behind the fishman, Waiyubi.
Visible now?
Yeah, visible now.
Okay, making yourself once again visible. So Waiyubi, Freddie, Lorquin, Aewni, you're all actually kind of gathered around on the same side of the ship. And there's a large crowd of pirates around here because everyone's eating Aewni's cooking, but you're all kind of generally here with this man.
Waiyubi, I believe that we have our target acquired, if you know what I mean.
That is good to hear. The brig was empty.
I'm kind of
walk up to both and whisper, I think this is the man we are looking for. He is not seaworthy.
Yeah, you just see like Freddie like turning the lampshade so that the hole is pointed at the dude.
Aewni motions, like nods with her hood, just gonna kind of way, while holding her filleting knife, like upwards. It kind of sheens off the.
And as you all kind of like, I imagine there's this moment where you look over at the person that you've kind of now pegged to be Lord Barton, and they're kind of just looking about. They're like pulling rope on the sail, and it's not connected to the sail, but they're looking up at it. It's just like a rope that's like on the ground and kind of like lashed up. And then he kind of like stumbles a little bit as the ship rocks. The sea's quite restless today. The ocean beckons.
It is often insistent in its beckoning. Can you swim, sailor?
What kind of sailor couldn't swim? They say nervously.
Lorquin just goes up to him and whispers, "We know who you are. We are here to help."
You see, as he says that, as you say, "We know who you are," he just kind of like freezes in place. And you see him looking around. He now looks extremely unnatural as he's like looking about, like kind of like nervously and like.
Lorquin immediately, as soon as he sees that, he'll put his hand round him to try and like hide him, calm him down a little bit, and say, "Do not panic. We are here to help," as I said.
And at this point, he just kind of goes, ridiculous. That fool Lord Barton, he disappeared long ago. It's a shame that he escaped. What a ransom we would have made on him. And he looks around, and a crew member kind of looks at him like, how about you stop bringing up Lord Barton? The captain's still not happy about, Lord Barton's escape. And he kind of looks around and, of course, I don't want to get Captain Killer angry.
There is a very loud chop as Aewni just slices the head off of a salmon.
Oh Jesus! And Barton kind of looks over at you. What do I do? You're here to put me off. I can't get off the boat yet. I haven't found the documents.
Freddie's gonna come up. What documents?
Yeah, recently. I'm trying to. Can we go over? Why don't we talk?
Aewni's going to very quickly start her second round of fish cooking, this time with a little bit more lemon and with a little bit of chips. Let's go with chips. Yes.
Chips. You got some potatoes that you brought with you?
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips, it's gotta be. I imagine that you could probably scare up some frying oil too on the ship if you really wanted to. If you really wanted to go the whole 9 yards, but
Freddie is going to.
Let's do it.
Freddie is going to lead away the party. The big rotund pirate that was near the captain's quarters, has he gone to fill his face?
Yeah, he's out of the picture right now.
Yeah, so I'll just lead them. I'll lead them. I'll lead all of them into the captain's quarters, just straight.
And
walk in, sit down on the captain's chair.
You see, as soon as Lord Barton kind of walks into the captain's quarters, he just goes, What the hell? I've been trying to get into the captain's quarters for days. He always keeps them locked. Today, of course, the day that we're doing the dangerous merchant attack, he doesn't keep the captain's. It
was locked.
And as he's like halfway through that sentence, you hear a voice kind of call out from above on the crow's nest, "Spotted!" and there begins to be some like shuffling and moving to action of the crewmates up above, where apparently they've seen their target. You hear just a barked order, muffled by the sound kind of coming from above the ship. All right, you scurvy dogs. The merchant vessel's been sighted. We'll be coming in range of them soon. We'll give them no quarter. We'll take everything they got, and then we're gonna be out of Buckler's Bay, out of the Crimson Coast, and we'll be living in style. There's another kind of round of cheers from the crew, and you can see now you have the captain's door closed behind you, but you hear the sound of some footsteps as people are going after things like kind of going down below deck to grab cannonballs. You can see from where you are, there's still a lot of people that are just, now that you are frying up some fish real nice and doing it so big, even more of the crew is kind of like distracted at this point, and you see Captain Killer kind of hop down off the kind of raised platform where the wheel is, and walks over the deck and begins striding in your direction. Aewni. And they look down at you and say, "What are you doing over here?"
Hold on, I was regarded and I totally just blanked. What happened? I know we're fighting I know we're attacking a merchant. As far as
you can see them. You can see the merchant vessel getting closer. You, now that they've been pointed out, you spotted in the distance. As everyone's coming over to you to get food when they're supposed to be preparing, you can see at this point, now with the round of fried food, top-notch, high-quality fish and chips, you can see the Captain Killer kind of hops down off the top where the wheel is, and begins walking over to you, striding kind of confidently over to it, and he goes, "What are you doing over here?"
Well, she'll be dusting her hands off, setting her tools down, and she will very quickly pull out a dragonbone wand.
And as he sees you kind of like putting some of your tools away, and getting ready, "That's right. We need all hands to action now. So all of you stop eating and get back to work." The general group of people do so. They stop eating and get back to work, and looks over to you, takes a piece of fish that you've cooked, takes a couple of chips, and takes a couple of bites, looks over at them. "You're our new cook. Congratulations. Now to arms."
She nods.
And hops back up on top of the wheel, and begins kind of, you see the ship starting to turn, and make just a direct line towards the merchant ship, which it doesn't seem intimidated by this ship coming up at all. Almost like they don't expect them to open fire in these waters, is the impression that you're getting. Is Waiyubi, are you in the captain's quarters, or are you on the deck getting ready to like raid this ship? Which way did you go?
I'm looking busy, like right at or just a little in front of the captain's quarters door, as more or less a lookout.
Yeah, so just kind of like, you're just basically walking like back and forth up and down the stairs, like jogging, and if anyone comes near, I imagine you're keeping them out of the captain's quarters.
Basically.
Yes. All right, Lord Barton looks to the other two of you in the captain's quarters, Lorquin and Freddie. All right, so I am something of a scholar, and I recently heard that Captain Killer had, raided another merchant vessel, not in Buckler's Bay territory, but I suspected that he might have had some items that were supposed to be shipped to me on that merchant vessel, so I came up to discuss it with him, and he took me captive. But through my cunning and my mastery of disguise, I
take out the ring. This?
Oh no, but they took that from me when I went on the ship. I've been looking for this as well. Thank you so much. It's from my... Oh, my dear. Yes.
Get to searching.
Looks at it on... Yes, okay, so I need to find... And he just begins kind of looking around. Do you want to help him make an investigation check? It's old. Papers... they would
Should
be on
I roll as well?
old faded parchment. Yeah, go ahead and make an... Actually, you should just do the rolling. Lorquin, you want to help as well? You're here too, right?
Yeah, I'll help with the investigation.
Yep. 21. You managed to detect a small kind of... as you're going through like the captain's drawers and stuff, you find a false bottom in one of them, where there appears to be just a number of some of his more valuables, items of jewelry that are even kind of like fancier. You can see like a scepter that it looks like he's carved for himself, a couple of books that look to be like wizard spell books almost, and then like you can also see what he looks for. He goes and just grabs a big pile of old like pieces of papyrus that are there essentially. He goes, and these were what I had purchased. Okay, I'm ready to get off of this ship. How do we do that?
I would advise, considering the commotion outside, that you stay here for the
Do you want to? Okay, so should I tell you more about sort of my daring plan? Well, I've gotten so far. You see, I disguised myself as one of the foolish pirates here. Fell asleep near the cell. I grabbed the key and I hopped off and I threw some It's a whole story. He begins telling you this elaborate story of him. It's not very impressive, and it looks like he kind of just dumb lucked his way into disguising himself as among the pirate crew, and pretended to be a stowaway. He tells you that story, and you guys are in the cabin with him. How long do you let him go?
Freddie's eyes glaze over as you exploit the weakness of the Galanodel monologue.
yeah. Freddie just goes catatonic for a moment, and Lorquin.
As soon as Lorquin says, "You stay here for a moment," he's already out the door. And
okay, yeah, Lorquin's gone, and it's now he's just talking to you directly, Freddie. It's just one-on-one, so you're just in a malaise right now.
Yeah, Freddie has gone full NPC.
Hard countered, and you see in the distance that merchant ship that you've been growing closer and closer toward. You can see some of the merchants upon that ship are kind of even waving at you as you're getting closer, and meanwhile the pirates are loading cannons. You guys are about to engage with this ship. I would like you all to roll for initiative. Lord Barton will roll for initiative.
Should I roll as well?
Yeah, everyone roll. Boop. I assume there's a point at which Freddie will just act overhearing a story.
Just slaps Lord Barton in the face. I can't kill you, but I can stop the monologue.
All right.
Stick a cork in his mouth and leave him.
He just kind of wait, I haven't gotten to the best part. Door slams in face. The first to act in this case is actually your pirate crew, which the ship begins pulling up alongside, and you can see the merchants are watching, and they just see all the pirates that are kind of leaning over the edge, grinning, and you can see they're starting to realize that something is off about this encounter, right as the first cannon fire begins.
How big is the ship? How wide and how long?
It is, I would say maybe 20 feet across, maybe 80 feet long. It sounds right to me for a ship, but if that's a dumb ship dimension, tell me. I don't know exactly what is average or something. That seems rightish to me, maybe 25 feet across. And cannons begin to fire, and as they do, the merchants all kind of just go up in arms, and you see them kind of scrambling about. People are going around looking for weapons. Orders are being called out on the other side. Things have kind of gotten started proper now, and a couple of the pirates that are on the deck begin kind of lowering planks, boarding planks, as you brought up alongside of them, and some of them are kind of like running over and beginning to just ransack this merchant ship. That's going to bring us next initiative to Captain Killer, who Captain Killer's just on the kind of top of the deck, just giving orders right now. That is going to bring us to
Freddie.
Freddie, what do you want? Oh no, it's actually not. It's Lorquin. Got a 20. A lot of high initiatives. What do you want to do, Lorquin?
Lorquin is going to draw his katana and prepare an action to attack the captain when Lorquin feels he's got no one close to him.
All right, I would like you to make me a I would like you to make me a perception check. 17. Okay. As you're looking at the you're getting ready. You're kind of looking around and you're kind of looking around and trying to get the lay of the land around here. The pirates are all just kind of like boarding and charging this merchant ship. Yeah, you're just getting ready to strike out at the captain. The captain seems to be actually ducking away a little bit at the moment. He's kind of like, he doesn't look to be like getting ready to directly join in the fray. Hanging back right now. Yeah, anything else? Is that all you're doing, is just getting ready to attack the captain?
I'm going to stand close to the captain with thin melee range, but make it look like I'm protecting him.
Okay. That's going to bring us now to you, Freddie. What do you want to do, Freddie?
I'm gonna get into a lifeboat.
Alright, so you run out from below deck. No one can see you come out of like the captain's quarters necessarily, but you run out from below deck, hop onto the ship, and yeah, there's lifeboats. There's one that's kind of hanging over the backside of the ship.
Bonus action, Mantle of Inspiration, and call out everyone to me. So all of my allies and Lord Barton can get onto the lifeboat.
The Mantle of Inspiration has to be a creature that you can see.
Oh no, not Mantle of Inspiration. Yeah. But is Lord Barton going on my turn, or is he going on
he
his
has
own?
his own initiative.
He has his own? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll tell him to meet us on the lifeboat, I guess, as I'm going up. But yeah, I'm gonna inspire all of my adventuring allies to come to me.
Okay. You begin inspiring your allies.
They can move their movement without taking op attacks right now.
Do you guys all want to do that?
And I am preparing the spell Shatter to blow the ship in half.
Okay.
Yes.
Getting ready to shatter just on the frame of the ship.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do it at 3rd level for that extra D8.
Yes, I will be running towards the lifeboat.
Okay.
Yes.
Use the inspiration. Aewni, you do the same. Waiyubi?
I go partway to the lifeboat to be, a break, so they can't just get up to the lifeboat. They have to pass and deal with me. Cover our escape.
All right.
Oh, well, I remember. Is that 5 or 8 temp HP?
8. Everyone gets 8 temp HP.
Spicy.
That's a pretty good chunk of HP. Man, that Mantle of Inspiration's getting good.
Yeah.
That's so. All of you, except for Waiyubi, who's hanging back a little bit, all of you are now in the lifeboat. And Freddie, you have readied an action to blow up the kind of the center of the ship.
Yep. Once our boys in boat.
Yep. In that case, that's going to bring us to
The merchants.
the merchants. The merchants are fighting back.
Oh no, Waiyubi.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. Waiyubi.
Ah, that is me. Having stayed back so I won't draw too much attention towards the lifeboat itself, I will just bonus action rage and attempt to murder the nearest pirate. Better if I can get in a little clump of them.
Go ahead and just make an attack roll. I mean, you go into a rage. You find most of the pirates are kind of like basically facing opposite you. The lifeboat's at the back of your ship, and you're going off like the right side of your ship onto the merchant ship. So people have, essentially, they have their back mostly to you. So you can go ahead and make me as an unseen attacker right now, an attack with advantage.
You know, instead of that, can I just use my movement to, bull rush through some of the pirates, get towards the front of them, and then just turn around and murder one of the pirates?
If you want to... So you're just trying to, like, knock some over? Is that the idea?
Mainly, I want to, make myself a target in front of them where more of them can see and just toss more chaos onto the fire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one thing that you could probably do that would definitely throw people off is there's a bunch of them that are, like, crossing over on gangplanks right now. You could, like, push a gangplank over. If you're just looking to, like, crowd into it and put a target on your back.
Yeah, I'll run up and Spartan kick off a plank and turn around, spines out towards the pirate.
Go ahead and make me a rage athletics check. It's 22. You take this gangplank, and as it kind of comes crashing into the sea, 3 pirates just kind of that are in the middle of crossing over right now, kind of whoa into 3 splashes, splash, 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 into the sea below, and the nearby pirates kind of call, "Hey, what's the big idea?"
Do tell Davy Jones I send my regard.
And they look at you and they're just like, oh no, he works for Davy! And they, a couple of them kind of turn on you. You've definitely painted a target on your back. That's bonus action. Anything else on your turn?
That'll do it.
The captain is kind of now just staring dead at you, Waiyubi, for a moment. You kind of like make eye contact with him, but then he just breaks eye contact as he's kind of looking out over the space. Aewni, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna prep an action myself.
What's the action you would like to prep?
I'm prepping a fire chromatic orb, and my trigger is if I see anything that can be, or if I see any cannon dynamite.
Ooh, I like that. Just waiting for, I think that I will just let you, there's cannons that are just kind of like firing each moment, and I think there's enough cannon fire right now that you can just do it any time. Like, even on your turn, odds are that there's a cannon going off. So I'll let you just make a chromatic orb attack against someone if you want to, and then you can make a stealth.
I think they're trying to blow up a pile of gunpowder or a barrel of gunpowder.
Oh, is that what you want to do?
I mean, if I can turn a cannon into a frag grenade, like a really large frag grenade, inside the ship and ruin some of the superstructure, you bet I'm gonna do.
The one issue with that is the row of cannons, they are below deck, kind of coming out the sides. So you'd have to like duck down below deck to get at the cannons that directly. So you'd have to step a little bit away from the lifeboat if you want to do that.
Could they go out, do that, then come back to the lifeboat?
You could get close, but you couldn't do all. It would be more than 30 feet to like go out, kind of coil around, go down the stairs, fire, and then come back around. You could get to like where Waiyubi was, basically.
Well, I'm waiting for Freddie's shatter, which will blast holes into the ship.
And so Freddie's shatter, I believe, is waiting for. So you guys have like the stack of Magic the Gathering right now set up.
Yep.
Or that will trigger once Freddie's shatter triggers. That's going to, in that case, bring us to.
Now it's the merchant.
Now it's the merchants. The merchants are losing this battle. They are doing their best to like. They kind of had slowed down basically to like parlay with this ship. and are now doing their best to like reset sail, just shouting out orders, but they are being very heavily overtaken right now, despite the slight slowed progress of them by taking out one of the gangplanks. The merchants aren't looking very good, and that's all we'll say for their turn right now. That is going to be Lord Barton. You just... Waiyubi, from where you are, you're the only one that can probably hear the voice right now. Just, all right, as Lord Barton kind of begins, like, jogging out the door. You can see where you have, like, the light boat over towards the back of the ship. You can kind of can hear his footsteps, and you see him jogging up. Freddie, I assume that you would be angled in such a way as to see the deck, because you're waiting to see him come out, so you know where he is. Barton kind of coils and runs around the front of the ship, and as he does, you can see his ready action goes off. The captain kind of jumps down over the side of the ship, and is going to attempt to grapple. Barton. And you watch as Captain Killer, who's just been kind of like eyes have been surveying the scene. As soon as Lord Barton begins jogging towards the back of the ship, he saw Waiyubi just take down a huge chunk of things. He jumps down, kind of hops onto the ground, grabs Lord Barton, and you see him kind of take out that pistol as he's looking at all of you in the boat, and just sticks the pistol up to Lord Barton. And he just goes, "I thought you were spending a long time talking to our resident noble." And he kind of looks down, he kind of looks over at Lord Barton and goes, "Did you really think that Captain Killer couldn't tell that you weren't you when you put on an eye patch?"
My shatter goes off.
You're just gonna blow up Lord Barton. Are you going to blow up him, or are you going behind where him and Lord Barton are?
Below them. I'm still gonna get, like, their legs.
I'm just telling you right now, Lord Barton doesn't have a lot of HP, and he is your target of your mission. So there's a good chance that if you shatter...
I hope he lives.
Okay!
21.
He fails. 21 points of damage.
He had 8 temp HP.
He did not.
From when we were down in the deck.
You didn't say that, did you?
I thought I did.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Is this true? Okay, I'll give him the... so that
8 temp HP.
8 temp HP.
So 13...
Okay, with the 8 temp HP, Lord Barton and Captain Killer, the deck just kind of shatters and tears apart. The two of them kind of fall down below deck. Barton is definitely unconscious. That is unquestioningly true. The captain is still kind of... I mean, he's gonna make a save still. He didn't make a save yet.
Also fails.
Also fails. He takes the full 21 and begins to kind of collapse below the deck. He's still kind of wrapped around Barton. I mean, I'll let him make a save to try and hold on to him. Make a strength save and throw. Okay, yeah, no. He loses the grasp on Lord Barton in the fall. He's also going to take another d6 of falling damage. Barton is dying. You can see his body has been, like, battered to pieces by the shatter, and he's also been just torn apart by falling below deck as well. Captain Killer is brushing it off and doesn't look too happy, but yeah, I mean, he's still up, and that was his ready to action. I believe at this point, Aewni, you have a ready to action to blow up the cannons. Now the person that are on the level of the cannons are the captain and Lord Barton. So you have 2 more people. You have basically the same thing that I said to switch is true.
It's just another death save. It's
Please do not kill Lord Barton.
It's another death save, but you could just bring him to negative double his health. What do you want to do, Aewni? You have a chromatic orb prepared, and this was the trigger. Aewni, you might be muted again.
Yes,
Can
I am.
Aewni
Thank you.
target Captain Killer with it?
I was going to ask that. Can I just split second switch my target?
That's not how raid actions work, but
Damn it.
I'll let you just make a spellcasting ability check to try and just like adjust your aim at the last moment. So DC, the DC on this is just going to be a flat 12, we'll say. And if you get above a 12 with just an unskilled charisma check, I'll let you adjust your target. Otherwise, I think the action will be wasted.
Okay.
Unless you want to go with the original action. Yeah, okay, so you're already ready to aim, and just right as the spell's about to unleash, you just a slight turn of your arm and the chromatic orb comes blasting out. Go ahead and make me an attack roll against Captain Killer. 25 will hit. Roll damage on that. That's 23 points of what kind of damage?
Fire.
Fire damage. It strikes into Captain Killer. His clothes are kind of burned away, revealing just heavily scarred skin underneath. He's still kind of like on his knees from the fall as he looks up at you, but your ally is in his clutches still, right next to him, unconscious. As we move next to
His turn.
Yep. Oh wait. Oh yeah, it's his turn.
Oh no, with pirates.
The pirates continue to ransack. Actually, against you specifically.
Waiyubi?
Yeah. Waiyubi, since you attacked pirates, a couple of pirates are going to come after you. And all the pirates are now aware, like the explosion on the ship and like the struggle and their captain. The pirates are now just generally aware that these new recruits are problematic. But pirate is going to... two of these pirates are going to make cutlass attacks against you, Waiyubi. Ah! That's
definitely a miss.
18 and a 13 both miss.
Both
And
miss.
The second one is a 10 and a 24.
Oh, the 24, just so.
You take 4 points of slashing damage. You raged, right? Yeah, you did.
Yes.
4 points of slashing damage as the cutlass comes across. Yeah, you're now engaged in melee with two of these pirates. The captain is going to look up at you guys again and say, "All right then, why don't we try this again?" As he takes out his pistol and points it down and cocks it back and puts it at the unconscious Barton's head. Because you make a funny move, you cast a spell, and the one you're here for goes down. Understood. As he looks up at you. And that's all his turn. He's going to ready an action to kill Barton if you guys continue your current course of action. He's got you in the old standoff. That's going to bring us next in initiative to Lorquin. What do you want to do, Lorquin?
Is there any way I can get to the captain without him shooting Barton?
You actually, Lorquin, are in one of the I think you're the only one that's still like just completely in the lifeboat at the back. Like some other people kind of like gotten angles to ready actions and cast spells and stuff. So I think you have, like, you could like stealth around the opposite side because right now he's looking up at Aewni and Freddie.
Yeah.
From the big hole that Freddie just blew in the side of the ship, in the deck of the ship. So you could like sneak around the side from where he isn't looking right now. The other two he's got directly in his sights. So if you want to go ahead and make me a stealth roll, or if you have any kind of ability to get over there, or if you want to go that route, you tell me what you want to do.
I really want to try and sneak around, but at the same time, I know if I fail the stealth, Barton is pretty much dead.
Do it.
Barton hasn't made a death save yet, no?
No.
He hasn't made a death save.
Right, yeah, I'll attempt the stealth then.
Ooh, a 20. You begin kind of creeping out and around the other side, and you are currently you're basically standing behind the gap where the captain is. So there's the huge hole in the top of the ship. He's looking up and out the hole towards the back of the ship. You're closer to the front of the ship, looking down through the hole at the captain, at where he is. Does that layout make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
You're basically above where the big hole that got shattered open in the ship is, behind the captain. And he doesn't seem to have noticed. His eyes are fixated on basically Freddie and Aewni in particular, Waiyubi, who's kind of engaged in melee, but he's aware of Waiyubi. He's not aware of where you are right now.
So you can drop down onto this dude.
Yeah, on your probably on your next turn, because I believe it's half movement to move it stealth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so on your next turn you could hop down. Do you have a bonus action, Lorquin, or anything else you want to do?
I do have action surge. If that
Oh,
helps at all.
action surge always helps. You could take another action if you want to do whatever it is that you would like to do.
Yeah, I'll action surge. Jump down and try and grapple the captain killer.
Go ahead and right now the captain is kind of he's basically saying, like, if anyone makes any funny moves, I'm gonna fire. So keep in mind that if you don't successfully grapple the captain, it will trigger that reaction. You prepared for that?
Do it.
Yes.
All right. You're going to hop down. Go ahead. You have surprise, so I'm going to give you advantage on this athletics check to grapple the captain. Oh! I don't think that he can contest this. Actually, he'd have to crit. So we will see. It's a very good roll, but it's not enough. As you come crashing down from above, you grab and I imagine you just wrench the arm away from the direction of Barton as the captain's pistol just fires into the wood of the ship, striking a hole just inches from where Barton's head is. You pull the hand away and he kind of looks at you and just kind of grimaces. That's a very good use of action surge. Grapple is one attack. You still have an attack too if you want to, Lorquin.
Do I have enough of an action to activate my katana?
I think that's a whole action, isn't it?
Yeah.
So grapple would count as one of your extra attacks, so you wouldn't be able to activate your katana right now.
Would I still be able to hit him with the katana?
You could hit him with it though, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'll do that then.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Just making sure that's off of advantage.
19 will hit, roll damage on that. He's taken some pretty heavy wounds at this point, and he takes another 8 points of damage as you cut into him with the katana, and you have gotten out of the worst of the situation. It looks like that's going to bring us to Freddie.
I am going to jump down to where our target is.
Absolutely.
Lord Barton. And I'm going to use an action to feed him a health potion.
Ah, very good.
For 6.
Oh, you blew me up.
I told you to move, and I'm going to use another bardic inspiration.
I can't run from sound. Bardic inspiration.
30 feet, get out of here, temp HP 8 to
He has
Lorquin.
to use half of his
him.
movement to get up, but he
That's fine.
moves 15 feet and runs away. Lorquin, you get 8 temporary fresh hit points, which I don't think
And,
you've hit yet.
No, I've not.
Could I have gotten Waiyubi as well?
Yeah, I think you could get Waiyubi. I actually think you could get everyone if you're capable of targeting everyone with it.
Yeah. Since I haven't taken any damage yet, I still have the 8, so I'll get everyone but me.
Okay. Do all of you want to? Do any of you want to do any movement from the?
I'm not going to do any movement, simply because if I do any movement, this guy gets ungrappled.
Yeah.
That'd be really bad.
I mean, you could drag him away.
I don't think that you can do that with like the reaction movement. I don't know if that tracks for me.
Okay.
I'll spend my reaction to run as fast as I can towards Bart.
Hopping down into the below deck area where the captain is.
Yes.
Is this a non-opportunity attack movement?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, you dive down. The two crew try to like swing at you, but they do so haphazardly and miss. And that's all for your turn, I assume, Freddie?
Do I still have movement?
You still have
Like
10? You would have to provoke an opportunity attack from the captain.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
He is going to...
No, he cannot. He used his reaction to fire his
you're
pistol
right.
as a held action.
You are correct about that.
Wait, how can the captain attack if I'm still grappling him in the first place?
You can attack while grappled. That doesn't
Yeah.
prevent opportunity attacks. But what you can't do is attack after he uses reaction because DnD 5e is stupid. So, is that all that you...
Yeah. I jump down, save our target, scooch him out of here, and follow
You say
him
save
out.
like you didn't kill him almost. Waiyubi. Waiyubi, you're down with the captain and Lorquin.
And Barton, right?
Yeah, Barton's Barton's like run a little bit away, but he's working his way up.
Okay. And Aewni is on the boat.
Yes.
Yep.
I look over.
You're going to have to run real quick.
And I will run over, dropping my rage, getting a moment of clarity, and just bull rush and tackle Barton. And as we fall, I will slash at the ship, but instead of cutting the ship, I seem to cut through space itself as we're in the boat.
Barton is unwilling. No, I'm joking. You teleport and dimension door directly into the boat, and Barton kind of looks and goes, as you tackle him, he goes, "Oh God!" Oh, looks around confused at his change of scenery.
I stand up, and as my action, I will slash at the ropes holding the lifeboat to the...
And it crashes down into the waves below as we pass next in initiative to Aewni. What'd you like to do, Aewni?
Okay, so Barton's like
Barton's
right here.
free. You've gotten Barton out, and now it's just Captain Killer kind of glaring at the group of you, just kind of furiously.
You know what? It's time for some sorcery points.
Oh no.
I'm going to cast a... Let's go with a guiding bolt at Captain Killer now.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll. 20 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that. That is going to be 12 points of damage. The guiding bolt flies down into the space, and Captain Killer is alighted with radiant light as we see him. Kind of the room fills with light from the kind of radius that appears around him, and he looks very hurt. Captain Killer was relying pretty heavily on you guys giving up when he had him at gunpoint, and is now pretty beat up.
And yeah, now I'm going to quickened cure wounds, Barton.
That's are you gonna jump down into the boat?
Yeah.
Okay. You hop down into the boat, and now you're kind of like out of sight of the captain. But you quicken Cure Wounds, Barton. Go ahead and roll me that Cure Wounds heal. 14 points of healing. Barton is kind of
That was my last second level spell.
refreshed, feeling significantly better as we move next in initiative to the top. Yeah, it circles around. The captain, it's just, I believe it's just Lorquin and Freddie down here at this point. Looks over at you, Lorquin, and just wheels around, puts the gun right up to your head, and is going to make an attack against you. That's a 26 to, that's a 26 to hit Lorquin, and it deals 31 damage.
This is a ranged weapon, yes?
Yes, but he does not suffer the penalty of melee with ranged weapons. That is one of his moves.
Damn.
So that's
You've had 8 temp HP as well.
Yeah, you have 8 temporary.
Oh no, I'm not down there. That takes
and that's all he does is he has this one really good pistol shot. So fires this pistol shot, and you feel the bullet kind of cut through your armor. You're not used to fighting a lot of these type of weapons, yeah, you feel just the pain kind of shock through. That attack is no joke, to say the least. But that's his whole turn, is doing that. And that's going to bring us around next in initiative 2. Lorquin, what do you want to do, Lorquin? He's barely standing at this point. He was hoping that you would go down with that pistol shot, and you just see like the kind of despair starting to turn at the corner of his eyes as you see it wasn't enough to finish you off.
Well, first off, I'm just going to laugh at the fact that he tried to kill the Unkillable.
I mean, there it is. It's in the name.
Second off, I'm going to use my action to activate my katana and make this guy have a very bad day.
What happens to him? Does he make a save, a wisdom save, or a...
When he starts his turn within the area, he must succeed on a DC 15 wisdom save or take 3d radiant damage. Half damage on success.
So 16 is going to succeed. Oh, it's at the start of his turn. Okay,
Yeah.
so in that case, that's going to bring us to you, Freddie. Do you want to do Freddie?
I like that he has a pistol.
Maybe take it off.
Yeah, I think so.
Another thing at the start of his turn.
Yeah.
Aewni and Waiyubi, the two of you are now in the boat, and you guys are kind of home free. Are you just starting to like row off with the?
So he does take the 2d8 fire damage when I cast the
Oh,
spell.
I'm sorry, he takes it immediately. What's he going to make? What kind of save?
Just for now, he just takes it.
Oh, he just takes that damage. Oh, and then he has to make a save to hold it if you...
Yeah.
He can either choose to let it go. I remember that one now, yeah. So, yeah, Waiyubi and Aewni, you guys just kind of sail off into the sunset with your mission completed in your inventory?
So, with ship combat, pirates in the sea, flowing blood, looking under the water, there wouldn't happen to be any sharks or other great beasts of the sea around us.
Roll me a... You know what? Yeah, there are. I think there are a couple of sharks that are starting to get attracted to all of the chum in the water.
Still, of clear and present mind, I will look to the biggest one, command him to come forth and, be the beast of this chariot and, carry us out of having to row.
I was wondering where you were going with this, and then I remembered that you have a trident of fish. And, all right. You cast Dominate Fish. Shark's going to make a wisdom save.
15.
I'm going to say it has no inherent bonus to wisdom. It fails. The sharks... is it just a single shark? this huge shark just kind of comes over to the boat, and as you like toss a rope that you've tied to a couple of the oar holes onto it, the shark just bites down on it and begins just getting ready to motor you across. Are you waiting for Freddie and Lorquin, or are you just taking the money and running, so to speak, with Barton?
I told them they'd have to run or hurry, so we're going home free. They can try to catch.
All right, that's going to bring us to Aewni. Aewni, you're being towed away by a shark. What do you want to do?
I will do nothing about this because Aewni shares the family fear of shark.
Fair enough.
She will otherwise stay in the boat, and anyone that tries to, you know what, she will. We're too far away from the ship now for it to matter, but yeah, actually, that's pretty much all she can do other than heal Barton, but I think he's back up to full after that.
Yeah,
that 14.
Yeah, he's good. He's good to go.
Yeah, I'm just being taken along for the ride.
All right, that's going to bring us to back around to Captain's turn. He is going to make a wisdom saving throw.
Or take 3d8 radiant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Half on a save. And then he can make a con save.
If I can find his stat block anywhere, I'd be happy to let him do that. All right, he fails. Can you roll me that radiant damage, Lorquin? Would you care to describe the killing blow as the radiant damage kind of courses out and overtakes Captain Killer?
Just as the radiant sunlight beams down onto the captain, Lorquin will let go and push him towards the light.
And as he kind of like is just leaning back at you, he's like staggering. He's trying to like pull the pistol up one more time despite the incredible heat of it, but he kind of like drops it at the last moment, right as the light just kind of consumes. And as it just blinds him for a moment and he's caught in its radiance, he just falls to his knees, slumps onto the deck. And here we have essentially kind of broken initiative. You can see as the two of you kind of come back up onto the deck, the pirate ship is in tatters, destroyed by your actions. You can see the ship that you're kind of entrenched in combat with. The merchant ship is starting to, without the captain's orders and the chaos caused by everything happening on your deck of the ship, pirates rushing to like repair the holes in the sides of it. The merchant ship is starting to like make its exit, and you can see your allies working their way away on a shark-pulled boat chariot.
Mm-hmm.
Lorquin and as you're seeing Aewni and Waiyubi sailing off into the sunset, Lorquin and Freddie, do you have a way to like catch up or to rejoin with them?
So I'm gonna get up onto the top of the ship, and I'm gonna begin performing.
Interesting. And how many people are you able to target with this?
Choose a number of humanoids
Up to 5
equal
people.
to your charisma modifier. I only have 18 right now.
Okay. So you begin to just play this kind of like siren song upon the boat. What's your kind of end game here? My question.
I'm picking out the most popular sailors to be like, oh yeah, he's the captain now. We're gonna listen to him right now, and he's just gonna lead us back to shore because the other captain's dead. It was a mutiny all along.
You're gonna, I think, just realistically, you're gonna get at least a couple of these. We'll see how many you get. 2, 3, 4.
3.
Yeah, you get 3 of them. And you've assembled kind of a small crew, and are you basically just taking just another lifeboat and just kind of going back that way? Is that
No, I'm taking the whole ship, and we're going back. because we're done with the merchant vessel because it's getting away.
Yeah, it's getting away. So, in that case, would you care to just kind of tell me slowly what happens as you grab 3 of these more charismatic crewmates that you pick out?
Yeah.
And,
So they go and tell their buddy, and their buddies tell their buddies, and eventually the entire crew is like, "Oh yeah, no, that captain sucked. This captain's much better."
And it's maybe not quite that, but those 3 people are definitely saying that. The 3 people that you've charmed are like, that captain sucked. This would be much better. And then the other pirates are kind of like, well, the ship's sinking, so yeah, we do need to go back to shore. And eventually, you and Lorquin make your way back. You reconvene with Lord Barton and with Waiyubi and basically everyone here.
I do not let anyone off the ship, though, once we get into port. I have a few family members that would like to talk to the crew.
Yes, the old... That's in the epilogue. But yeah, eventually, you guys make your way back to town, Buckler's Bay, with Lord Barton, who looks over at you. Well, I can't begin to thank you enough for saving me. Could you believe that the captain was able to see through my disguise? I mean, no one noticed me for the whole time I was there. It must have been our conversation that tipped him off.
I don't think so.
Wait, who are you?
Just who? I mean, I'm Lord Barton of Lord Barton of Buckler's Bay. But regardless, I believe my retainer has promised you all some recompense for my rescue, I would have to assume. You are Bartholomew's adventurers. I believe the standard fees are still the same.
Aewni finally pulls her hood off and gives Lorquin back his cloak, and she's just like, What was that? What was that entire thing?
Don't worry about it. This kind of thing always happens on the sea.
That happens on the sea? Stuff like that?
It is not
Lorquin just looks to
uncommon.
Freddie and like, you understand, don't you?
That was absolutely a blast! Wait, was that too soon?
Oh, no, I mean, I'm going to be traumatized about having my legs blown up for, yes, a very long time, but I can still joke about it. Here's your 200 Bartholomew bucks each, and you have to return. I mean, he invites you back to his estate to dine and to rest if you so desire. But you have successfully completed this adventure, each of you earning a point of experience and 200 Bartholomew bucks, and congratulations on your victory, dear heroes. Would any of you like to shop?
No.
If I could.
Yes, you return. Greetings, adventurers. Welcome back. I trust your adventures upon the high seas were to your expectations, satisfactions, good fortune, all of that. Can I get anything for any of you?
If you need a magic item, you know where to stop. Just head on down
It's your only choice.
to Bartholomew's shop.
Very good. It's a very good rendition of it. The velvet of your voice, Freddie, is always enjoyed. I gotta get that thing. I gotta get that theme song fixed for the entry someday. But for now, can I get anything for anyone?
Yes, I would like to do a bag pull, please.
Very well. Go ahead and roll me a D1000, and I wish you the best of luck. 750.
I did it before the luck.
Is a good number. You reach the back, and you find your hand passes over. It appears to be first a small ring of some kind, and then you go to pick up something that feels like an egg, but it's almost like cracking in your hands, and you're like, it's broken. You grab. It's perhaps a flag. And as you pull it out, it appears to be a battle standard of sorts. And Bartholomew speaks up. Yes, this is a battle standard of a hero known as Algoro. It is a powerful item that has a number of spells imbued that will allow you to heal and embolden your allies. It's got 5 charges, and you can, while holding it, use an action to plant it and spend one of its charges to cast either Heroism, Prayer of Healing, or Mass Cure Wounds, each at different charge costs. Additionally, you can use it.
Question.
Makes a pretty good pike. Does extra radiant damage and all that.
For the Prayer of Healing, is it instant?
No, it would be a regular Prayer of Healing. It does not specify.
10 minutes? Oh, great, cool.
It would be a regular Prayer of Healing. One thing that's very ridiculous about this item that I'm noticing is that it's non-determinate against all odds. So just get a free Mass Cure Wounds a day, I guess.
Right, I'll just
That's why it's in 700s.
I'll contact Farku about selling it for
Oh god.
attaching it to that blade, you know? The one that cut the heavens that one time? Oh, that's a story for another time.
With the blade.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah. Waiyubi, you wanted something as well.
I will also take a grab of the bag.
Give me that nice D1000, and I wish you the best of luck. 550 for you. You reach into the bag, and your hand passes over what appears to be a small. It's some kind of orb, but that is hold on a second. Okay, I see it. Yeah, so at first it appears to be some kind of small orb, which kind of rolls away and deeper into the bag. A mace, which you feel a powerful holy energy coming from it, which doesn't interest you as much. You go for a vial, and as you pull it out, Bartholomew goes, it's one of my bottled blessings. I don't know if you're familiar with these, but I get lots of blessings from gods and things, and I can't have that many boons on myself at once, so I just kind of bottle them up, throw them in the bag. This one is a blessing of Sylvanus, who is a god of wild nature and of druids. And if you breathe in the vapors, your wisdom score becomes 16 if it were not already higher. Ooh, and you gain the ability to multi-class in the druid class. Per the multi-classing rules in the player's handbook, a druid which multi-classes in this manner, which reaches a 2nd level, joins the circle of the moon.
Oh my god.
Oh ho.
How did that one end up at 500?
Jeremy,
Oh my god.
Jeremy, why did you
What?
put that in the bag?
What is that? What?
Whoopsies.
Jeremy. Alright, you gain the bottle blessing of Sylvanus, and I quit D&D. Jeremy, do you want to go to the outro screen? No one else has anything they want to buy, right?
No. Except that. Can I buy that?
Y'all can
We'll
discuss
have some talk.
We only have one.
Richest man in DnDTime.
I'll give you another pull for it if you want. Do you want to go to the outro screen, Jeremy?
We'll go to the outro screen, and Pete,